Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Keys of the Castle podcast. Today is going to be another gluten-free episode. So, recently I did a trip announcement that we are going to Disneyland Paris, my family and I. So, we're super excited about that. I've done tons of research on the gluten-free options and stuff like that. So, we haven't gone yet, obviously. So, just a heads up that this entire episode is just going to be all hearsay, and you'll have to come back after the trip in order to find out what actually happened. But this is kind of just going to be basically my prep. I'm just going to be talking about my preparation for gluten-free food at Disneyland Paris. And so, yeah, I'm just going to talk about what I've found out so far. Just maybe some helpful tips and kind of what I'm doing. So I think I basically have everything planned out. So once we get closer to the trip, I'll probably look into a couple more things and nail things down a little bit further. We're just doing one day in the parks, and we're going to do um, both parks. So we have park hopper tickets. So keep that in mind. And again, yeah, this is just going to be one day. So hopefully this helps though. For anyone out there preparing to be gluten free at Disneyland Paris. What I will say is that um, I've done a lot of research. It's taken a bit of time and hard work. And yeah, from the outset, it has just seemed like being gluten free at Disneyland Paris and finding that type of food is basically like a nightmare. And there's been a lot of things that I've heard, very bad stories of people expecting some sort of normal type of offering or some type of normal level of gluten-free service awareness at Disneyland Paris. And yeah, what I can say is that it seems like there have been very, very, very many expectations not met with that. So I suppose it's the bread and croissant capital of the world, so maybe that's no surprise. But I don't know. Either way, I'm not mad about it. Um, I've found some pretty good information for making me feel comfortable with choosing this stuff. Um, so I've had other gluten free episodes in the past. So yeah, my family and I do a lot of gluten free stuff. I'm fully aware of cross contamination as well, so I'll be keeping that in mind. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump into kind of what some of my plans are with gluten-free food and going to Disneyland Paris. So first things first, I've learned that probably one of the best things I can do is bring stuff with me. So there is kind of a, I guess what an American would call a convenience store kind of nearby. We're not coming from America, so that's another thing I'll kind of differentiate and let you know about. But we live in Ireland, so the gluten-free market for food and what you can buy at the store is different. So I'll be, making sure to differentiate that as well for if you're coming from America. But yeah, there is a convenience store nearby. I forget what it's called actually. So I'm sorry about that. But there's a convenience store near here we it's Aachen or something like that. Auchan. I actually have it here in my notes. That's great. So it is kind of a train stop away. So maybe like a 25-minute walk. And then I know there's like shuttles that go for free from Disneyland to some of the nearby hotels that would be probably closer to this convenience store, little market type place. So I did see a couple of videos of like, just a heads up that you can buy stuff there. I don't really know if we'll do that. It might be out of the way. We've got the baby, like we're only doing one day. So I don't know if we'll do that, but just a heads up, there is one of those there, which from what I heard could have gluten-free stuff, probably does have gluten-free stuff. Again, the market in Europe is different for gluten-free food than it is in America. I'd say it's a little better here. But yeah, for whatever reason, Disneyland Paris seems to be particularly bad when it comes to their gluten-free food offerings within the parks and around the park. But as a generality, I would say that um, Europe probably has a little bit better of gluten-free offerings when it comes to like markets and grocery stores and stuff. So for me, I'm probably just gonna bring stuff from the grocery stores over here. So I'm probably gonna bring either gluten-free hamburger buns or hot dog buns. I was thinking about it. I saw that I've been hearing a lot that one of the things that you can get is a hot dog without the bun from Casey's Corner, I think it is, and that you can get the hot dog without the bun, and that the fries, aka chips, if you're from Europe, that they're gluten free. I think I'm gonna skip that. I've had hot dogs in this part of the world, to say that, that's a very general thing, but it's just being an American, like, I don't know, man. It's not even a hot dog, so I might just skip that and bring a hamburger bun, a gluten-free hamburger bun, that sort of a thing. So I think we might bring that, and then I'll probably bring, like, some, healthy gluten-free snacks, whatever those may be. I don't know, I just have in my notes healthy snacks to bring. I'll bring probably a couple of gluten-free, like, candies or sweets that or, like, treats that I like to eat. Um, so I'll bring those as well. Let me see. The last thing on my list that I have that I'll bring is some oatmeal. So there's really, 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 really good gluten-free oatmeal that I really love. Um, if you can't tell by all of the reallys, there's some gluten-free that I love, gluten-free oatmeal that is really delicious here in Ireland, and I think it's across. Maybe I'm guessing it's at Tesco, which Tesco is in a lot of countries. It's not just Ireland, so I'm guessing it's across other parts of Europe as well. But I'm gonna bring some gluten-free oatmeal. You can buy them in like the little one serving, or just like the single packets. So I'm gonna bring probably, excuse me, one or two of those. Um, I will say that is completely different from America. I know they have, what is it, like the Quakers brand, that they have like the packets of gluten-free oatmeal. They used to have those a long time ago. Not sure if they still have them, but that might be a comparison. I didn't really like those though. They just didn't. I don't think they were like actually healthy. Whereas the gluten-free oatmeal over here, you can kind of have it even just plain with nothing else in it. Actually, they don't. I don't remember if they come flavored. They might, but even if you have them plain with nothing else in it, they taste really good. Um, so yeah, I was just never a fan of the gluten-free oatmeal in America anywhere that I found. So yeah, if I was coming from America, I definitely wouldn't bring that. I'd probably replace that and just like count on doing like some eggs or something, like a regular breakfast, like in Disneyland Paris or around Disneyland Paris. I'd probably do that. I don't like buying like actually for this trip, I mean, and kind of in general. A lot of times I don't like ordering breakfast, just depending on the level of um, interest that I have in it. But a lot of times I don't want to order breakfast because I'm like, well, eggs are pretty simple. It's like stuff that you can usually do at home if you're just ordering like plain eggs and bacon, that sort of a thing. But yeah, that's probably what I would do, to be honest, for breakfast instead of you know, bringing my own if I was coming from America, to be honest. But instead, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Um, I also found out, from what I can tell, for breakfast, my plan is also to do um hash browns from Annette's Diner. I guess there's hash browns that I think are gluten free. I will say also there's a Facebook group for being gluten free at Disneyland Paris, and it's extremely helpful. Um, I mean, it's extremely helpful in comparison to what you'll find out on your own without the group. Because even within the group, it's a little rough. Um, I feel like the offerings at Disneyland, California are a lot more clear, probably at Disney World as well. Whereas over here, there's a whole aspect of like, yeah, sometimes they have this item without cross contamination, sometimes they don't. A lot of people, there's a lot of mixed stuff of like, this person's experience was they were affected, but not, this other person. And then there was, the shop was open this day, but not the other day. It's like there's a lot of inconsistency. So just, approach with very much caution. Don't take anything I'm saying as advice. This is purely for entertainment in this episode and just pure excitement of me sharing my own, kind of journaling my own personal experience. But either way, Annette's Diner, I read somewhere, don't take my word for it, but it has gluten-free hash browns. Another thing I might do for breakfast is there's, I guess, some crepes that you can get. So from what I am gathering, the crepes in the Walt Disney Studios Park, aka the crepes near the Ratatouille Remy's ride, those are not gluten-free, but you can get some crepes that are gluten-free next to It's a Small World in the Disneyland Park. So that would kind of be a potential idea for me for breakfast as well. So I might do all of them. I'll be on vacation, so I might have porridge, hash brown, and a crepe. Oatmeal, hash brown, and a crepe. Whatever you want to call it. There's also a macaron or macaroon in the Boardwalk shop. Apparently, I don't even remember where that is. And then I think that's next to Ratatouille. It seems like I wrote down on my notes. And then there's also like a pink sweet shop on Main Street, which apparently is unnamed. It's just like a Main Street shop that's pink up on the outside. Then they sell a bunch of sweets, and there's like macarons that might be gluten free in there, and I think there might be some other treats that might be gluten free in there. I think I saw a video of like some what do you call it, like Rice Krispie treats, that sort of a thing, in the shape of like the Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. So that might be an option as well. Let's see what else. Excuse me. In terms of snacks, the only thing, it's not really a snack, it's more of a side, which to me on vacation, this is like a snack. But there's fries that should be gluten-free from what I read at Toad Hall, which is in Fantasyland in the Disneyland park. The fact that there's a Toad Hall, I am like extremely excited to see that. I don't know if maybe I should lower my expectations of what Toad Hall looks like, but like I am ecstatic to see that. Even if it's lame, the fact that they have a Toad Hall, I'm just so stoked to see that. So, I might go in there to order the fries just more so for the experience, and also for the snack. Um, I am running out of time a little bit here, so I might have to split this up into 2 episodes. Try to finish up here pretty quickly though. For lunch, so the options that I'm kind of giving myself for lunch are either burger and fries from Annette's Diner. There's also ribs and chips at the Cowboy Cookout. Ribs in Paris, it just doesn't seem, I don't know, something about it that I'm like, maybe I should just do, Annette's Diner. There's a pizza shop in the, there's pizza in the shopping center, which is called, I think it's called like Val de Europe. So, it's kind of where like the Auchan is or whatever, the market. It's like the one that's like 30-minute walk from the park. I think there's gluten-free pizza there as well. No clue about cross-contamination. So far, from what I've gathered, people seem to say that there's no cross-contamination from, like, it's supposed to be like pretty much like actually gluten-free for the hash browns at Annette's Diner. The macarons I was saying, the crepes, the fries from Toad Hall, the fries and burgers from Annette's Diner. the ribs and chips from Cowboy Cookout. Um, as far as I know, it's kind of hard. So my experience in Europe is that, like, because of liability reasons, they will never, ever, 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 ever say there's guaranteed gluten-free food. They will always, basically everything when you eat in a restaurant in Europe is may contain, even if it's a lie, even if it's literally like packaged certified gluten-free, it may contain. So it makes it very confusing, and it kind of sucks, and it kind of gives them, kind of gives restaurants, an out. I feel like if it gives them an excuse to kind of be lazy and not provide customer service of like, yeah, we'll make an exception for you. We'll make sure that there's no cross contamination, or at least we'll do our best. A lot of times, in my experience, the attitude is kind of like, well, we're busy. We don't make exceptions here because we can't guarantee anything. Everything is may contain. So proceed at your own risk. Pretty freaking crappy. I'm not gonna lie. But either way, um, so far everything I've named should be, like, from what I can tell. Um, I don't want to say it should be, but the impression that I've gotten is that it shouldn't be like cross contamination to it. Like, it's not cooked in the same fryer or anything like that. So, uh, fries and burger and Steiner, ribs and chips from Cowboy Cookout, pizza from the Val d'Europe Shopping Center nearby. There's also some risotto from this place called Vapiano in the Disney Village, which is like their downtown Disney area. So that's kind of on the list for possibilities. I might just kind of default to burger and fries, but who knows? Maybe we'll go ribs and chips. We'll see how the fam is feeling, or we might even like leave, the park and or go to the village or something like that. We'll see. You never know. We'll report back afterwards. Um, Actually, sorry. So I was naming those off as lunch, but that's literally the lunch and dinner. So I guess that concludes the episode. Yeah. Now, but yeah, those are the options for dinner apparently as well. So not very much. Very short episode to sum up gluten-free food at Disneyland Paris. And getting ready for that. Let's see. I also have down on here Mad Hatter Kiosk by the Maze. You can get the popcorn ice cream in a tub. I don't know what that means, but that's what somebody commented to me on the Facebook group. So yeah, take that how you will. I might check that out because yeah, I'm just gonna try to freaking get everything I can. And then for desserts, this is really cool. So this is stuff that I kind of found on my own. There's a tiramisu, it looks like, at the Pizzeria Bella. There's a chocolate mousse. The Pizzeria Bella is at the Disneyland Park. There's a chocolate mousse at the Vapiano Italian restaurant in the downtown Disney, or like the Disney Village. I have in my notes cable car bake shop ? So I guess do your own research on that. The pink shop with no name on Main Street, that's on the right, kind of towards the beginning of Main Street when you first walk in. Apparently there's fudge and macaroons and some other stuff. So I'm definitely going to try to take advantage of those as well. I also have a note for Brasserie Rosalie. I don't know what that means. There's another question mark by that, so I'll have to recheck that out before the trip. But anyway, I think that's going to actually do it for this one then. It's pretty much everything. I'll report back after the fact, and we'll see how that goes. Again, this is just for kind of entertainment and kind of journaling my own experience with this for our family. But, if it helps you out, that's great. But proceed with caution. Please do your own research. And just honestly, if, there's any concern or doubt, just stay away and just bring all of your own food. That's what I would say. Bring extra food that you feel comfortable with. Because, yeah, definitely heard stories where people are like, yeah, I just ended up not eating. So, yeah, be careful with that. Proceed at your own risk, unfortunately. And, make sure you're not taking this as medical advice. Take your own medical advice from your own medical professional. But anyway, all that aside, um, thanks so much, guys. And I think that's going to do it for this one. So, as always, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.